Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everyone. This is me, Jonathan Alexander, and here to host our show, Life, Laughter, Happiness. Today I have my co-host, Kelly. Are you there, Kelly?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Hi,
hey,
Kelly.
Dr. Healer for the Stars.
Hi.
And today I have my other co-host, Barbara. Are you there, Barbara?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, everybody.
Which by the way, and I
Barbara.
love her stories. When she posts her stories and her videos, I love her stories. It's very good.
Oh,
and
yeah.
our guest today is,
Thank you.
I hope I pronounced your name correctly, Joseph Lobrutto III. Is that right?
There you go.
Okay. Now, is the third to indicate that that being psychic is in your family?
No, the third is an Italian thing.
Oh, it's an Italian thing.
Yeah, so that's where the third. Or it
Yeah.
could mean that you're a rich man, either one. But we'll go with it's an Italian thing.
Okay. I want to start with this question.
Juniors first, and then it's the second or third. How does that work? Okay, it's the first,
Well,
senior, and then junior.
my grandfather was the first, and my father was junior, and then I'm the third.
Okay.
That's the order.
That's so cool how that works. Okay. So if my
Yeah,
brother,
but
the junior, would have had named his kid Terry,
Exactly.
then that would have been Terry the third.
Exactly. If he named his son after him, same name, it would have been the third. And that's how it
I wanted to
goes.
ask you something. How often do people come? The reason why I'm asking this is because my co-host Barbara has somebody that she's kind of worried about, but it's not really so much for her as it is for, I think, a family member is going over some grief. Am I saying that right, Barbara?
Yes, perfectly. You were saying that just right.
Yeah,
Donnie.
you might
Thank
explain that to me better. Explain it to you better.
Oh, okay.
All right, so,
well,
yeah, so you had a family member,
first
Barbara,
of all,
who passed?
Joseph, hold on, Joseph. I have to say this was so cool before we started the show, and you're like, are you all in California? And I'm like, just me. And you're like, I'm getting a California vibe. So that was so cool that you felt that.
Yeah, it's just off the bat, so. Okay.
You
I
are
start to get
very
in tune,
sensitive to it.
I will go into where we need to go.
Awesome.
But you had a family member.
So,
you had a family member who
yes.
lost someone.
Yes, but we all did because the family member was a family member to all of us, obviously. So, but it hurt me, but it was a person who was closer to another person who was very, very close to me, and that person is devastated. And I invited them on the show because I know how healing it can be to connect and talk to your loved ones who have passed, and they said, I don't want to. I think it was because it was too soon. People don't like to get on a live show and start crying, especially when they're, a grown man. So I just felt like maybe I could do this for them or just get any pointers from you, and maybe I could talk to this person because I love him. He loves me,
Mm-hmm.
So I probably have a good connection there,
Yeah, the loved ones choose to come for the person for here, and when you said he's not ready, if it's too soon and stuff, he's going through his own grieving process. And I always tell people before they have a session with me is to make sure that they're ready, because how a medium works is the person I'm reading is the one who brings the loved ones into the room, and I'm able to tap into them through you. And that's how it happens. But I don't know if it's the person you're seeking, but who I have with you, Barbara, is somebody who is very ill. Does somebody suffer from cancer or anything like that in the family that you know, or a close person who had cancer?
Well, yeah, close person, but nobody in the family.
Okay, I have a close person to you that had cancer who passed away.
Oh,
I want
yeah.
to say hello.
Oh, really? I felt it. I feel it. I mean, maybe it's this person. I love this person so much.
This person's like a cheerleader to you. And
yeah.
I felt, for some reason, it has been a big inspiration in your life for direction and opening up doors, so to say.
Many years.
In your life. And I take it it's a he. Is this correct?
Yes.
Okay. What I'm hearing from him is that you can't judge a book by its cover. You must read the pages first to get to know the person. And your pages are very full. And he got the time to get to know you and who you are as a person instead of judging you by the cover, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, those are my true friends right there. That's for sure. Anybody who has not done that to see the real me is not going to be very close to me.
Right. Right. This person knows the real you, and I feel like he was just suffering from cancer. And I feel he made his peace
but what do you mean
end.
just? Because this was a while ago. What do you mean just? Do you mean a person who died recently?
I shouldn't word just. He suffered from cancer, and it's just, I just feel like there was just this great release from him when he crossed over and no longer in pain and the freedom. And toward the end, he got to make his bucket list, so to say, but he got to make his peace with some people that he needed to make his peace with, which was very important.
Definitely. I know it's this person. Can I just say, it's not the person that I was going to talk to, for my family member, but you know what, this person, I think they were saying, when you said that, it's like, oh my God, they came into my mind so much more powerful than anybody just that second you said that. Because they're like, hey, what about me? You forgot about me? Hey, I've been gone for a while, but I'm still with you. I want to say, hey, I'm here. I know it's Stanley. I just know it is.
It's a person who made a big impact in your life, and that's why.
Yes.
That's who normally comes through. Because, like I said, the loved ones, the spirits, they come to you. I know you wanted to contact this person for a family member, but this person, Stanley, the spirit, needed to come through you to give you a hug. That's what he needed to say. I needed my hug.
Hi.
That's what he always got a hug from you.
Everywhere I have chills. And you know what? That's wonderful because this person, I was living in Nashville before Playboy, and I was trying to model. This person gave me what I needed to, I needed work. I needed money. I started doing conventions and traveling. And then we started going to Vegas, doing all the conventions there. He had 30 convenience stores, so there was plenty of, work to. I talked him into hiring me. He never hired a model before. And then we became so close and he had a wonderful family. We became close. Then he went to prison because of they said he did money laundering. You know how, of course, sorry, Stanley, it's never, you're innocent. But I don't know. He went there for 3 years to this minimum security. He said, I was the only one who ever called, ever wrote. He had a wife. He had children, grown children. Nobody. They just forgot about him. I didn't forget about him. He gave me so much, and I made good money to where I could get my life together. I could get, in shape and get everything you need to put into your career to get anything out. And you can't just do it from dirt. And so I needed a foundation, and he was giving me that. Believed in me.
Yep.
And yes. And then I moved, and
that's how he came through, just like that. Mm-hmm.
Really? And then he was living in Dry County, I think it was Alabama or somewhere like that, really out there in the South. And he waited. He got cancer in prison, and that must have been horrible, right? And he got out. He lost his millions of dollars, lost his company, lost everything, lost the wife, and was laying on his couch of his sister in a dark house. For 3 months, I said, I'm coming out from LA. I'm going to visit you. Or Arkansas. It was Arkansas. I'm going to visit you. Finally, I flew all the way out there. I drove 4 hours into podunk. I mean, nothing was around, okay? Not even a cow. I got to this house. I went in there, and there's Stanley. I hadn't even seen him for 8 years, but we always stayed in touch. And he was there with a bag outside of his belly. I come in, and I open those windows, and it was stuffy. And I said, where is the wheelchair? He needs a walk. And the sister, they're all sitting there, and it's dark and stinky and gloomy. And I got him in that wheelchair. I got him out, and the leaves were flying around, and he was smiling. I brought him back. I said, we're all going to pray. I vowed and we did this prayer. I said, don't let Stanley be afraid of going. Let him pass. He's going to be with you, God. He is safe with you. Let him die in peace. You know, I mean, let's look at it for what it is. He's laying there on the couch, miserable. So guess what? Oh, he goes, I can't believe that you still are so spiritual, Barbara, after I thought LA was going to ruin you. And that's what a lot of people think. And, oh, your love for God. And, I mean, you're just still, that's so important to you. I'm so happy to see that. I'm like, oh, of course. So I left. It was a wonderful visit. He died 3 days later. He held on for 3 months waiting for me to come to visit him before. So when you say, he was
that's
able
why
to,
he needed to. That's why he had to come through for you, because he made an impact in your life. He made an impact in his life. That's why he said you can't judge a book by its cover. As he read every page of you inside the book, because he knew you inside and out. And he encouraged you. He was your cheerleader. You know, so when spirit has made an impact in our lives, they're normally the first ones to come through. I'm hearing what stays in Vegas, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas too. And I don't know, was an incident in Vegas that you had that he wants to remind you of, and it says it's our secret, it's still there.
Oh God, we were laughing. We laughed our heads off. I mean, it was wild. It was crazy. I mean, I'm like, before I'm turning 22, you know, I'm 21, and I mean, that's fun time. You got limos, and you got like the suite, and you're like having fun, and he was a big gambler, and I would bring my like 1,000, he would turn it into like 20, you know, I mean, he was the high roller. I mean, it was just really fun.
That's what he's showing me. He's showing me Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and that's what he's doing as well. You know, I'm
so
hearing
funny.
What I'm hearing about you too is that we have to go through things in our life. We grow through experiences, and what was important to us years ago is not so important. And our spirituality is high on our list from this stuff. And I feel that the lessons you had to learn in the past brought you to the person you are today. If you didn't go through these lessons, you wouldn't be who you are today. And that's an important message from your guides. I believe you work with guides as well. And this is what your guides are saying, that you had to go through these steps. You had to go through these learning experiences in order to mature and be the person you are today. And it's almost making you I see you almost like a celebrity spokesperson in spirit. I see Shirley MacLaine, okay, where she kind of went out there on a limb and just told the world what she is and what she did. It's almost like you're coming out of your shell and telling the world, hey, you know, okay, you said you were a model, I think you said?
Yeah.
But now you're kind of coming out of your shell saying that, you know, I am this big spiritual person, that I am, God is very strong into my life, and I'm here to make awareness and open up other hearts and touch. And I feel like this is part of your journey's path and where you had to be in right now. It's happened probably in your late, I don't know how old you are. I hope I don't make you too old. But I have you, it's like your late 30s, early 40s, I'm feeling, when this all started to happen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's when, I was 29, 30 when I started my goal of dancer. And, you have to be so strict with everything, and you just change your life. So I know I'm able to accomplish things and to, you know, learn. Yeah, like I learned. Those things are not important. You know, the big old parties and the trips like that. I've had so many. You're right. And what is so important is God, your spirituality, helping people by your experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And let's have more, yes.
That's where I feel that where you're at right now. And I see places like Machu Picchu, and you're being driven to like high spiritual places like that. Even in Mexico, the temples in Mexico, and just to the high vortex energy places, where it's there. Sedona is very strong too. I just see a big pull with you now coming up. You're being drawn there and getting yourself anchored, so to say. And I feel like this is you're probably starting this now, or the next leg of your journey coming up.
Oh, yeah, for sure, because I've been invited. It's so funny you say that because recently I've been invited by my friend Robin, who was on yesterday, and today's her birthday. She is so spiritual, and she's been going to spiritual on cruises and things like that. She wanted to go on a spiritual kind of getaway for the two of us, so somewhere like that, yes. And I want to.
I guess like Machu Picchu in Peru or even in Mexico to
yes.
the
and you know, I just
pyramid.
went to Mexico. Can this happen? I want to ask you, Joseph, could this happen? When I went to Mexico, because I know it is very spiritual there, the vibration, and I fell down the flight of stairs, and then I met Kelly and Johnny because they wanted to give me a chakra healing, which helped me heal from that fall really quickly, but I could have lost my life, definitely. So could something have happened because I went to the spiritual place, or what? Do you feel anything with that?
Well, nothing ever happens by accident, and those two happen to be there when you hurt yourself. It's no coincidence. It's all part of the divine plan. Now look at you, you three are together doing this show together too now from this incident.
80 shows later.
So it's
80 shows later,
yeah,
only 3 months.
80 shows, wow, okay. Where am I? Okay. But it's all, like I said, for you to have that fall, for Kelly to be there working with a Reiki healing, and I'm about to go into Kelly too because I'm feeling her energy now too. But but this is where this is all meant to be. It's all aspects of who you are and who everyone is working together, and it's almost like bouncing off each other. You all have your own qualities and your own gifts to do things, and you're working in unison as a collective together. And by working as a collective force, the three of you, you move mountains faster and quicker than working by yourself. So you're like many pieces of the puzzle, so to say, and that's why why you met.
You haven't even been around us much, and you feel that, and that's what people are saying. Psychic readers are always saying that about us, and so how wonderful is that? I feel like I was really given a gift by being all brought together, the three of us. And I always felt my future was going to have something special, like something to where it's going to be impacting other people's lives, like touching them. That was important to me to have that in my life because, of course, Lord knows I've had all the surface stuff going on in my life. So I felt like I was drawn to deeper things all the time. And this is very deep. But I just want to say one thing, and thank you so much for all of that. It's right on, definitely. About Stanley, people have to realize you need to look into what other people might be thinking and what other people that you love, their thoughts and feelings, because I just had no idea. When I went over there to say my goodbyes to him in Arkansas, the girlfriend said, Barbara, she took me aside, she goes, every single day we've been together, Stanley has said, I've talked about you and talked about a funny story and talked about how, I go, I haven't even seen him for 8 years. She goes, every single day. And I go, how long have you been together? She goes, 3 years. I had and said that I was the love of his life, but I mean, we never had like an intimate relationship. It was just so fun and, it wasn't that. So, but still people could say you're the love of their life because, right?
And he's still impacting you from coming. Has he come through for you before through other mediums?
Well, I've like other medium people. I've never even asked.
Yeah, you said you're on your 8. I'm sure you had other mediums on your show. Did Stanley ever come through for you through other mediums?
Maybe it was him, and then we just didn't acknowledge that. I never thought.
I'm
bad. I wasn't thinking about him.
If you're not 100% sure, then I have to say no. Like you're 100% sure it's him here. So maybe he chose me to come because I was more male energy.
Why? Because I was always wanting somebody else. I wasn't thinking about him. I was thinking of trying to get this person or that person for this person or that person, and I wasn't focusing on him. And that's why. Remember, I said when you first said something. It's Stanley, and he's saying, "Well, what about me? Have you forgotten about me?" That was him saying that. Because I have been trying to reach other people and not him. And he's like, no, it's my turn. I want to say hi. I want to hug. How so sweet, Joseph.
That's the words. He said a hug because I think he used to ask you that for a hug all the time.
Oh,
so he had to say that. Yeah.
He's so sweet.
Okay.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's that. And thank
Okay.
you very much for reading. And thank you. I loved, my heart is like swelling. My heart feels full. And
move,
thank you.
Is there someone who suffered with addictions or anything like that as well?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
I got somebody, I don't know if this was the person you wanted to contact, but I have somebody who suffered with addictions and fell off the wagon a few times and wants to say they're sorry.
Well, there's two cousins and they're young, and they both died of heroin overdose, and on each side of the family.
Who's the male who passed away?
They're both
female. I'm
boys.
sorry. Who's the female? They're both males. Okay, so it is male. All right. So they were cousins of yours?
Yes,
but
that's not who I was wanting.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. It's just, What is the relationship with the person
who passed
you want to
away never tried to quit beer drinking, so I mean they enjoyed it till the day they died. I mean we were putting like ice cubes of beer like on his lips so he could taste it. Poor thing, But he never caused havoc with that. Not in my life or the person who is missing them so much. That wasn't a problem. Like he's off the wagon ever, But he did like his beer.
Who's Johnny?
No.
Johnny or John?
John, I know
or the
John,
male J,
but he's alive. What?
Who's John? Who's John?
John.
Someone's asking about Johnny or
John.
John.
No, not me. Jean. Oh, sorry. Oh, no, it just came out. His name was Jean. Oh, yeah, not John.
It could be somebody else. Maybe with Jonathan. Maybe. I have a John that had like trouble walking. That I'm feeling.
No.
So.
No, not with me.
I'll ask Kelly or John on there. Jonathan.
I'm fine with
Well, I
we'll
mean,
just have him,
if
come back on when...
I had trouble walking, but that's, I'm alive.
Oh, you have? Do you go by John sometimes?
No, well, yeah, but my main name I go by is Johnny, and I was born with cerebral palsy. I had trouble walking.
There you go. Then it's you. You're a friend of Barbara who has trouble walking, named John or Johnny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but I thought we were talking about people who are dead.
Oh, yeah, well, I forgot to mention. Sometimes I get messages with friends or family members who are alive, and the spirits are just asking, and it was a John or Johnny who had trouble walking, muscle problems, and I just...
Are Barbara's friends saying something about me, or...?
Yeah, they're talking about your condition and about your on what you're going through right now. And your spine. They're bringing up your spine right now as well. Do you have any...
I worry about him. Joseph. Okay. I worry about Johnny in his house because, I love him. He's a wonderful friend, but, I just want him to be around for, obvious reasons. We have a lot more to do here on Earth. So is he going to be okay?
People sometimes hear the word cerebral palsy, and there's basically, they often ask about life expectancy. I'm going to have a normal life expectancy. It's just that I think there's sometimes that's hard for people to ask that question because nobody really wants to come right out and ask, are you going to live to be 60, and...
Right.
And mainly I focus on you getting better and your health, and for some reason I feel there's back issues right now going on with you, like lower spine. They're telling me, and this is something. It could be a corrective. Have you had those like a sciatic and lower spine?
I've had problems with posture. I mean, and I think it's because when I do the show and when I work, I tend to lay on the bed and I work. But the thing is that I've been doing the show a lot, So it's sort of like it's really weird
Why
because
why don't you start doing the show in a straight chair instead of laying down? It's very important to do that. Start sitting up and do the show sitting up. Make yourself do that.
A straight chair?
Straight chair, just so you're sitting straight up and then not laying down.
Okay.
And by doing that, it's going to be uncomfortable at first, but down the road, your body's going to adjust. It's almost like I see your back straightening and less pain, and your posture getting straighter, and it's going to help you tremendously. And that's what you're telling me. Okay.
Yeah, it's
good idea. Because that'll just be like an hour and a half a day that you're going to sit up straight and to reform that spine, give it some a lightning energy in there and charge. Get that working.
That's what my guys are telling me to do for you.
And you know what? When you said, Barbara, I think you work. Yes, I will remind him too. Hey, Joseph, do you remember when you said, "Oh, I'm sure you work with guides"? I'm new to this. Okay. I am a spiritual mentor who's trying to learn along the way, helping people, and I'm positive, and all that is fine, but I'm learning. So, no, I don't know how to use guides. Where are my guides? How do I find my spiritual guides?
Okay, and this is Barbara speaking, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I know Kelly's there, too. I got to just make sure I get the right person on here. When we're born, everybody has a guide that's called a control. That's our main guide. It's always with us since our birth. They're the gatekeepers. They help bring other guides into our lives. Guides they're on the same journey's path as we are through life. And what I'm feeling. There's a creative guide within you for writing, and you have this gift within you of writing stories. In your head and putting things together. So it's almost like tapping. What you have to do is like tap into a universal life. Imagine the voice in your head just kind of driving you and helping you, and you call it your conscious, and just go through there. But what I'm hearing now is that you have a lot of stories to tell, and there's an inspiration. There's a guide there to help you write these stories. And if you aren't doing this now, you need to start doing it. It's very important.
Okay.
And when I say stories, it's more of where you work towards your enlightenment. You could do a biography about your life and things. It could start off like that so people can get to know you, but phase it into where you're coming into your spirituality, you're coming into your own. But when you tune into your guides, it's just that inner voice you hear within yourself. It's like when you're looking for a parking space and then you hear, go to the next lane over. There's a space there in your head, and you go and there's a space. That's the basic way of communicating with your guides at the very beginning. It's just learning how to hear them.
I called it the power of positive parking.
And
when I was young,
you have a name for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was young, and I did that. My dad thought it was so funny. He made a T-shirt that said the power of positive parking because he thought it was so clever that his little girl thought this up. And we would do it.
Well,
I say, don't start at the back, start at the front. We're going to get it.
That. Well, that's why I had to mention that parking to you, because that's where your guides were starting to speak to you and to get to there. On there.
Wow.
You have this power about you, too. I have you as a little girl climbing trees, making the wind blow. And they're showing me that as you're a little girl, and you just used to make the wind blow and just kind of, had like power. So.
Yes.
And that's part of it,
I
too.
had my favorite tree. I did. I had my favorite tree. I'd sit up there.
There you go.
Oh,
there you go.
And,
you sit up in a tree now? That's funny. Okay. No, I'm not in there now, but I sat up there all the time by myself. I would sit up in the tree, and it was right on the corner. I'd watch the traffic go, too. Oh, my gosh, you know what else I can do, too, with my power, which is kind of funny? I can make my fingertips moist, like within a 0.2. Like, I can make them moist to turn the pages of a book. Wow. Cool.
I don't lick them.
Yeah, they just get moist. Well, what you're doing is you're directing the electric in your hands and the molecules, so to say, and you're learning how to manipulate the molecules and by thought. You know, we're a manifestation of thought, and we create whatever we need to do, and the human mind is very strong. And as children, we have this ability because we have no limitations that limit us. We think we can move mountains. And by you doing that, you're just changing the molecules there where you're making your fingertips moist and things.
Wow.
So, and that's,
but you know what else I did?
Cool.
Did something bad once. I did something bad. And it is powerful, but I was a child and I was being, abused. So I would stare at the back of this person's head for literally 8 years straight and wish that they would die. But I'd have that same look at him, the angle, because I was in the back of the station wagon, and I was kitty corner to him, like diagonally, so that side of his right head, the back of it, I would put those evil thoughts into his head, and then he died. He developed a brain tumor right there where I stared. I never told anybody, and I certainly didn't say it on air, but I mean, I was a child. I'm sorry, people, but then he died. He did from that brain tumor, and I feel like I made that happen.
Well, I wouldn't say it was created by that, but a lot of things, when a person is, I got to use the word evil on there, and they do bad stuff, and things do happen, illness does happen to it. They all create this type of illness within themselves. And with that brain tumor he was developing is because of the person who he was, and every ill thing that he did, it just made it worse and worse. Most likely what you were doing is you were so gifted that you were tuning into what was happening in his brain. It was already forming there. The tumor was building, and you already knew something was there, and you were focusing on there. Because it was already started. And that's
okay, that
feel.
makes me feel better. Because I know you're not supposed to do anything with your power. You're not supposed to do anything with your gift that is evil or bad or negative. I know that.
No,
but I had
think,
to tell you, I'm glad I did.
Well, you're very empathic too, and especially when you were a child. And being empathic, you can tell if somebody's sickness and things, and you were just tuning in to something in the brain there, and you were focusing on it, trying to see it, and then. And when you focus on it, you become, and you imagine it being there. But it's something that was developing in this person.
Okay.
And
okay, good.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, there was one more thing that I used to do. But, I mean, there's probably a lot of million little things. Now that you told me that I am this, I'm going to look it up, and then I'm going to start, developing more my spiritual journey and learning more. And that really has inspired me. Thank you, Joseph.
You're welcome.
One more thing I did, though.
Does Huntington, does Huntington mean anything to you?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, Huntington Beach. I just moved here.
Huntington Beach? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
There's a place there, a spiritual center in Huntington Beach that you need to find, and that's where you're going to get your learning from.
This is so crazy that you see this Huntington, because this place is where I have dreamt of living for many years, and I finally made this goal happen. I just moved here June 10th.
Oh, you just moved there. That's funny. Okay. All right.
I know.
So, all right.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Okay,
So maybe that was that California vibe.
Yeah, not only that, but okay, now I wrote that down. I'm going to look up the spiritual center here. How exciting. Yay.
There's a spiritual center there where you can do all your learning.
I need a place like that to get away from all the hectic here, working at home and everything, just to get out of the atmosphere and get somewhere where it's just about what I'm trying to learn, no distractions.
You need to go to Sedona as well.
I want to say something.
Okay.
I was just thinking, Barbara, you might want to ask him about the photo shoot.
Ooh. Okay. It was my idea to get Johnny and Kelly to come out here to Huntington Beach to shoot a photo shoot all together for marketing tools. We need a photo together. We need several behind the scenes. We need fun, loving photos, lifestyle photos, just stuff to work with as our team, us as team members. And They have a GoFundMe that they've created, and we need to get donations to help with their plane tickets and gas money to come out here. And it's a long way from Florida, and it's a long way from Michigan, where Kelly is. So we're going to have to raise money. So Johnny wants me to ask you about that.
Yeah, where are you in Florida, Johnny?
I'm in Destin, Florida. I'm on the Panhandle.
Well, that's right. You where my daughter lives.
Yeah.
Destin.
Yeah, you last time you were on, you said, "Hey, I'll meet you up and I'll have a beer with you." Is what you said. So
yeah.
it's just that what it is that me, Kelly, and Barbara, we've been talking about this because it's like I really did not create this show to work with them, to sit around and talk to them on the phone. I want to meet them. I would have. Don't you agree, Kelly? I mean, you want us all to be in the same place?
Yeah,
and
I want to see you guys a hug. I want to see you guys. Like, yeah.
We all share things, like, for instance, we all share things that are important to us, and like, like when you were talking to all of us, I mean, I was thinking about questions that I might have, and maybe Kelly might have a question for you. You understand? So it's sort of, it has to do with getting us all together, and like Kelly, you said that you had a well, anyway, I was going to talk about the reading. Do you think that we're going about it the right way? I mean,
when you get together, you always can Photoshop stuff. You don't have to get a photograph.
Yeah, but that's not magic.
But what you could do is, when I say, all right, this is how I'm painting the picture here. Since financials is kind of hard for the both of you to get there, if you start off with the photoshopping just to get something together and put an event there in California together, the three of you, and this way you have the advertising ready to go. When you start raising money for the event, then you have revenue coming in to pay for your ticket to get there. But you need to come up with some type of topic, type of an event where you're going to draw people to come see the three of you.
Okay, Kelly made the GoFundMe. So, Kelly, I mean, you had some, is that right, Kelly? How did you make the GoFundMe?
Basically, it was a way to meet us. We were going to be doing a live, I was going to be the one driving there, so we were going to have a series of meet and greets where I would be the one that was actually there in person, meeting and greeting, while they meet them, Barbara and Jonathan, on video live on different stops along the way. And then when we're there, we do like meet and greet around like LA and Huntington Beach and, maybe San Diego and different places, and do live videos and have, a bunch of different, celebrities and friends and people around and do behind the scenes of the photo shoot and things like that, unless you have a different idea.
It really depends on your following too. For this to succeed, you have to have a huge following that will invest money in your GoFundMe. If you have only 10 people watching you take this trip, it's not going to work, and that's the key. I think there was a movie called The Chef that was played where from Miami he had a food truck, Cubana food truck, where his son filmed him going from Florida to California, and how it grew there, where they could sell their food from their food truck, and they're going to come into a certain town, and it was YouTubed and social media, and people knew they were coming. They had lines, and then kind of paid. So that's the kind of idea came to me, that this is what you want to do, is you want to meet people from different places as you travel. But it really is popularity. You have to get where you go viral. and on YouTube, and people know and are anxious to come out and meet you, and that's the key to building something like that for it to work.
Now, Barbara, have you had your questions answered okay?
Oh, yes. Thank you very much.
Okay.
It was better than I imagined.
Kelly had a question.
You're welcome, Barbara.
You had a question, Kelly. What was your question?
Thank you. Well, I was wondering, what do you see like the guides telling you for me?
What you have to do, first thing that comes in is that quote about there's nothing to fear but fear itself. You have to let go of your fear and downs because that's what limits you. And the sky is the limit. Don't limit yourself to one modality, meaning in healing modality. Expand your horizons more. There's pranic healing, there's divine healing, and Reiki healing. And what they're telling me is that your healing abilities are going to increase, but you need to expand more on different modalities for this to go. And put self-doubt. So I feel sometimes we get in our own way when we feel that we're not good enough, so to say, or should I be doing this? Is this my calling? And we start to put all these fears and doubts within ourselves. You have to put those fears aside. Know this is your calling. This is what you're meant to do. Not one person's here to save the world. You can only do so much. And when you do heal, you just heal as many as you can. Don't expect to. Sometimes we get disappointed when we can't heal someone, and it sets us back. You have to realize that maybe it's not in their life plan to be healed. We can only do our best. But with your guides, I feel like there's strong healing guides that are working with you, and you need to expand. Even herbal and scents, meaning aroma type healing, working with different fragrances and herbs and aromatherapy. That's very strong within you. Even sound therapy too. If you don't have a singing bowl yet, that's what you need to start to look into. Because with the singing bowl, it increases the vibration, the frequency, in what we're doing in healing. And by working with the bowls, you're working with frequency. You're very good with frequency, increasing vibrations, and you need tools at your disposal to work with different frequencies to help you. That's very important.
Oh, do I need like a whole set?
Nah, one bowl. It's like that one triangle. Ding, ding, ding. You don't need a whole set. You don't have to bring it up an octave. Just the one bowl can just bring the frequency up to the set. Eventually, if you start to enjoy it and you want to start playing the singing bowls and make music, then you get the whole set if you want to make music. But if it's just to increase the frequency, you don't need a whole set. And one bowl is fine.
Okay, and it doesn't have to be attuned to a certain chakra or anything?
You just gonna what's gonna happen is you're just gonna know how to manipulate the bowl on how to ring it a certain way, and I feel that you could change the pitch of the bowl when you hit it and raising it. You raise it to the chakra. Okay, here they're telling me it's all mentally. You're going to focus the pitch toward each chakra that you need. So if it's like the crown chakra, you're going to hit the pitch and focus on the crown. If it's the solar plexus, you're focused toward the solar plexus, and you're directing the pitch to the chakra and where it needs to go, and then it's going to adjust.
Oh, how cool is that? Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. And and also, do you see me working with animals? And if so, does it have to be in person with a picture? How do you see that working?
Again, it's all frequency again, so it doesn't have to be in person. if you have the photograph of the animal, and it's focusing the pitch and the healing thing toward the picture, looking at it. But we're all one. We're all universal energy. It's a matrix out there, and even with the animal kingdom is tapping into that matrix. So from where you're at, you can tune into that vibration of that animal that you want healing, and just send that energy right to them. You have to stop thinking linear, that it's far away, and just start thinking that it's right here, that animal's in front of you. And when I do for instance, when I do healing on people long distance through phone, I use my own hands, and I focus like on the crown chakra. I'll take my hand and put it on my crown chakra, but I'm visualizing my hand is above their head. And as I go through each of the chakras for the healing, I go through my own body, projecting the healing modalities to it, and I'll have them put their own hand out, and I have it focusing my energy coming out of their hands and through there. And so with the owner of the animals, you can ask them to put both of their hands just above where they need healing of the animal, have them focus and meditate, and you direct them to project healing energy, colors, whatever you need to project into that animal, and work with the person as a vessel where you're just directing the energy through them into the animal, so you don't have to be there personally.
Oh, cool.
So
Okay.
you do this. I do this with people, so so we'll work with animals too.
Oh, that is so cool. Thank you. Let's see. What else? I've been having issues with a lot of different health things, and including migraines and weird itching things, and then something showed up on possible autoimmune, but we don't know, and it's just a lot of really weird stuff, and I don't know if it's like growing pains with how sometimes you get these weird things that get in your way before you're about to have your gifts go up a level, like some people call them like breakthrough headaches. Do you see it like that?
Well,
right before
that's the migraines are a shift of energy, and the world today is the whole earth is in a cosmic change. The polarities are going crazy from negative, positive polarities, and it's just a mess. Even you can tell by the climates, with the Amazon's on fire and the glaciers melting, and it's just not the same. And what happens is when we tap into this energy this vortex of energy, it affects our physical too. The world is divided in politics, and there's a lot of I have to use the word hatred out there. And when we're susceptible to that and we feel this, it affects our health. And this is where the headaches go to. It's just it's adjusting to the different vibrations as well. As we increase in vibrations, the headaches will subside a little bit. But when our body gets out of whack, this is because I'm going to use the word crystallizing, where our body is going more into a higher vibration, where the earth is shifting, and this is why the climate changes are happening, going into a higher vibration. And we as human beings are shifting too, we're crystallizing. And by that, this is where our bodies will start to react in different ways, and you'll start to feel different things. Especially, you're a healer, and being a healer, you're one of the ones that are very acceptable to feeling all this happening.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes me happy that I'm not crazy.
I'm going through too. I've been having major migraines all the past couple of weeks now, and it's just been driving me crazy with these migraines myself. Yeah, and it's been a long time since I got migraines like this. So it's a big shift happening now, and I've got a feeling once this shift is done, my migraines will subside. I know once my migraines done. It's affected by the weather a lot but but I feel it's more universal than the weather this time. Because I'm getting them even when the weather is sunny. I'm getting them.
Oh gosh! And then it was a huge energy drain until about maybe 5 days ago. It was just like it, and Mercury Retrograde was just pure hell for me that way.
Oh yeah, when Mercury goes in retrograde, everything breaks and everything gets out of sync and it gets going forward again, and then things we get law and order again in this lifetime. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad that it's not just me. I mean, I don't like anybody else feeling this way, but it's like there's finally going to be an end to this, and that makes me feel better. You know, do you have an idea, like when things are going to start evening out?
Yeah, we're in for a long haul, so hang on tight.
No.
Figures gonna be at least a generation, at least a 10-year generation that we're gonna have this stuff going on. Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah. Well, yeah, at least I'm prepared, and I can't blame it on perimenopause. So I thought, man, I'm hitting early. Woo. Yeah. Well. So we're at the beginning of the 10 years.
Yeah, the thing is to keep our vibration high and don't let anything affect us out there to bring our energy low. You'll find that there's people out there who try to bring you down, or a lot of things that will try to pull you off your journey's path. And what you have to do is just keep the faith and stay on your path and know that this is just temporary and it will pass. And if we start to look at life as a journey, that we're only here for a short time, and enjoy what we have and who we have and what we have in life, and then when we're not here anymore, we can just reflect back on what experiences we had.
Okay. Well, that really does make me feel better, and wow, thank you. I really appreciate that, and. That's good that better times are coming, and that time will be here before we know it.
It is coming. We gotta get through the dark and the murkiness to get there. And once we get through that murkiness, good times, bright times will be here again, and things will be back to better than better.
If you think about it, you think back a few decades and you're like, I can't believe it was, that long ago that such and such happened. Well, we'll be doing that 10 years from now and going, thank God we got through this.
Well, I remember when I started in all this, I was in my early 20s, and the Harmonic Conversions was something like, what the heck was that? I remember I was like 21 years old. And that was the shifting of the vibrations of the earth, and how we went through a cycle. And this was back in probably 1984 or 85 when that happened. And I remember I was a young whippersnapper just trying to learn. I was in my early 20s and learning all this. I opened up very early in life.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, for me to use whippersnapper kind of gives my age.
That's funny.
I'm not even sure what that is. I'm going to have to look it up.
Harmonic Conversion. Yep, that was the shifting, the vibrations of the earth shifted. It was the start of the whole shifting into, and then we went into the Mayan calendar of 2012 and the other big shift. So it's all projecting. It's all going that way. You need to check out my book. My first one, Is There More to Life Than What We Know? A Spiritual Journey and Awakening and Finding God. It's an e-book form. And I tell you what, if you guys email me your email address, all of you, I will send you the copies from e-book copies so you can have it.
Oh, thank
you. Thank you. How do we get you?
Just go to my website and you'll find me there, ourjourneyoflife.com. And just shoot me an email.
I have a question for you.
Thank you.
I have a question for you. We have a psychic that comes on a lot. Her name is Karen Page. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the name.
No. Where's she at? Where's she located?
She's in California, but she's you know, the thing is that, you know, what I think is interesting is we've done this before, is we've had like lady that's a psychic on, and then we have another person on that's a medium. And I was thinking maybe in a couple of weeks we could have you both on, and then people could call in, and then you could do the medium questions, and then she could do the psychic questions. Would you be open to that idea?
That'd be fine. But I'm also a psychic as well as a medium, so
I understand.
yeah, because I was tested. I got in a book called Top 100 Psychics in America.
Well, that's just it. So is she. She's in the book too.
Oh, okay.
She's in the book too.
So
In
cool.
fact,
yeah,
they're both in the book. So we've had a lot of people from that book on. We've had I've had Maria Papapetros. I've had you know Maria Papapetros.
So that's that's originally how you found me. Now I remember now.
Yeah.
You found me through that
yeah,
book.
and
Okay.
she's
Gotcha.
not a medium,
like
so that would be great.
Do you know
she
Maria
isn't Karen.
Papapetros?
No, I'm not familiar with Maria.
Do you know, let's see, Gail Thackeray?
I've seen her when she came to Florida in one of her expos.
Yeah, I've had her on. We've had Richard Hayes. We've had now Daniel Brinkley. He's not in the book, but I've had him on. We've had just, you know, it's actually just been it's been like a kid in the candy store experience for Kelly and Barbara, because I mean the first lady that we had on was Joan Care. That was a moment. It was oh God. And Victoria Bearden, that was another one. You know I don't know if you know who Victoria Bearden is. But let me see if you can clear something up. Is it true that all mediums are psychics, but not all psychics are mediums?
Yeah. In my second book I wrote called Speaking of Heaven, I have a whole chapter on that, about how all mediums are psychic and not all psychics are medium.
Well,
mediums,
but not everyone agrees with that. I mean, Karen Page doesn't.
In my interpretations, mediums, how a psychic reads, they normally use tools of the trade, either from tarot cards, runes, or their interpretation, and what they get is interpretations. How mediums works is we get in touch with our spirit guides. How we hear our loved ones, we hear our guides, and our guides help us with directions and answers. So as a medium, I'm able to hear the loved ones, but I'm also can hear my spirit guides, and my spirit guides are the ones that help people with directions. So all mediums are in touch with their guides, and they can get information for that person. So that's
what
why
you're saying is your interpretation based on your that would make sense on your interpretation, because if you are saying basically one that has tools of one allows you to do the tools of the other.
Exactly. Now there's stronger psychics than mediums who does the psychic stuff. Like I said, they're stronger psychics than I am, because that's all they do. And compared to my psychic abilities, because I'm more into the mediums and talking into guides and stuff. So maybe her interpretation. But then psychics being the mediums, I don't see any psychics that are mediums. They're just psychics. Mediums, they're both. But they're different calibers, though, in their abilities.
Well, what I'll do, I will message you about setting up a time for to have you and Karen Page on, because I would really love to have you both on at the same time. Are you open to that?
What day and hour is the show normally?
It's at 8 p.m. the same time.
On what day? What day?
We usually do it every day.
Oh, it's every day. Oh. I can't commit for every day, but maybe I could commit maybe once or twice a week.
But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I'm not asking you to do that. I mean, I'll talk to Karen, and then I'll book you on, like, for a few weeks from today, and And then we'll see. We'll go from there. Do you want to do that?
Gotcha. That'd be perfect.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll talk to you soon. And we're about out of time, but thank you, Kelly, and thank you, Barbara. I hope you enjoyed your readings.
Wow,
Yeah,
I sure did. I took notes.
Yeah, I found
Okay.
the Huntington Beach Spiritual Center too online just now. It's very big. It's great.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
I'm excited
That's
for
where
you. That's
you-
awesome.
That's where you
Okay.
need
Thank
to be, Barbara. And now
Oh,
make sure
thank
you
you,
keep up
Chelsea.
online.
Thank you so
I'll
much.
send you
I
my
will.
email, okay?
I can't wait to read
Okay.
your book. Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Thank you.
All
All right.
Thank you all. Okay.
Have a good
You're
night.
welcome.
Okay.